Hey there! I have another finger puppet video for you today. This time we're going to make a pregnant mama. And I'm going to use a 1/2-inch round wooden ball for the belly, and I'm going to set it right away with some hot glue. And this just takes like maybe 5 seconds to set before I can move on to the next part of the project. I did make her hair ahead of time off camera. I made 2 long black braids, and it did take a little bit of time to make the braids, but it's fairly simple. So I adhered both sides of the braids, and then I also gave her some bangs, and I just used some little remnant pieces of the black yarn to make her bangs, and I did fiddle around a little bit with this. And I know that some of the pieces are a little bit long both in the front and in the back, but I can trim those off a little bit later. And then I'm going to give her a little bandana in the blue, and I did cut the bandana a little bit big this time, and so there's plenty of space for her hair and to really tuck it in the back so that nothing is showing. And what was kind of a nice result of using a piece of felt that was a little bit bigger was that it kind of stuck up a little bit on both sides, and it gives a little bit of a different personality versus the other ones where it's nice and tight and snug. So I do use quite a bit of glue back there. These puppets are well played by my kids for many years, and they need to be sturdy. And so gave her bangs a little trim there, and I got a little bit of glue on that side of her hair, and I just tried to trim it out as best as I could, and then I just left the rest. So once her hair is done and her little bandana is on, then I can go on to choosing the felt and for her outfit. And I did know that I wanted to use blue for this one, so I wasn't fiddling around too much with the different shades of blue and trying to figure it out. I did do this before I started recording just to make sure that I didn't spend too much time on camera trying different fabrics. So I just wrapped the felt around her body to see how much I would need, and I did have a bit too much, so I trimmed it down. And I also rounded the base of the felt a little bit so that it kind of curves around the belly a little bit better. It took a little while just to kind of get it snug and tight and in a way that I liked it, but once it was all set, then I could glue it down and go on to making her cloak. So for this one, once I got the glue in place and the felt the way I wanted it, I did go back and I did round it out so I could make sure that she could stand. Otherwise, if the felt was uneven, she could tip over when the kids are playing with her. And then after that, I got the darker felt to go as a cloak. And the thing is, I know that there's like a gap in the back of her light blue dress, but I knew that it was going to be covered anyway, so I didn't mind that it didn't fit perfectly. And I always layer clothes on for my finger puppets because these little wooden bases don't have arms. They're just enough to put your finger in, and so they don't have any other, they don't really have legs or arms. And so by layering extra pieces of felt and giving them, cloaks or capes or just something else, then it doesn't, you just kind of forget that they don't have arms and you just think that they're just tucked in there under all that fabric. So I am also tapering it a little bit so that it fits well over her belly, and I do have to fuss with this a little bit, and I do go back in and trim it a few times, and that's fine. I usually use the little extra bits of felt for other projects, so I don't mind so much. And Once that's all in place, then I can just kind of see what else needs to be done, whether the cloak needs to be trimmed or if she needs any accessories. And the cloak is a little bit long, so when the kids want to have her stand on a surface, they have to kind of flip the cloak up a little bit, otherwise she does tip over. So the last thing I need for her is a little button. It's a nice little finishing touch, and I use a little wood veneer from Studio Calico. And that's about it. And she's all finished. And these pictures were taken about 6 months after the project, and she's held up really well. And my kids still love to play with her. All right, guys, thanks for watching.